Today in this lecture of operating system, we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is the evolution of the operating system, how the evolution of operating system had happened. So operating system have evolved from slow and expensive systems to present day technology where the computing power has reached exponential speeds and relatively inexpensive costs. So in the beginning, computers were manually loaded with the programs code to control the computer functions and process code related to business logic. So this was the system in the beginning. So in operating system, the operating system may process its task serially, means one by one, and we call the sequentially, and there is another approach that is concurrently, means at a more than one task at the same time. So what is meaning of that? It means that the resources of the computer system may be dedicated to single programs until its completion, or they may be allocated among several programs in different stages of the executions. So the main feature of operating system is to execute the multiple programs in an interleaved fashion or different time cycles, so that is known as the multi-programming. So we are going to discuss this evolution in terms of the 3 points, that is the serial processing, batch processing and multi-processing, and how this progress has happened, and now we are using this multi-programming system nowadays. So let's begin. So in the serial processing, from the name it is clear that the system process the request, process the program in a serial way. So in the serial processing task, what happens? The program is executed serially, and the whatever the programs is that, like suppose you have written the source program, source code is there for particular program, source code, and the next then you have to write using the editor, you will write the source code, then linker is there, for that you will link at the time of compilation. Then if you want to execute it, then you have to manually load the loader, and then you will execute the program. So what is these all operations is done by, these all tasks is done manually by us in the serial or sequential processing system, in the system, early system then developed. And in those serial operating system, of serial processing based operating system, it was generally called the bare machine. So bare machine means it was not having any resident program in that, and because of that we were having the poor utilization of resources, and it was inefficient because every time user was interacting with the system, and user has the limitations how fast he can interact with the system. So because of that, resource was most of the time was idle. Processor was waiting for the request from the user. Suppose this system is there, I am having the keyboard, okay, as an input device and output device as a monitor or something. What you have to do, if one request you have given, suppose one task I have given this system, then it will process, output will come. After that, between two consecutive processes inputs, the system has to wait. In meantime, the system was not doing anything, so utilization of the resources whichever available in the system, that was not proper. So to overcome these issues, what had happened, batch processing system was developed. So this mechanism is adopted. In that, what had been done, whatever the task was there, it was uh, this was created a group batch. In the batch wise, the jobs were submitted to the system, and some of the tasks that we were doing here manually, and this is taken care by the operating system itself, a system itself. So in that, what happens, we have the small resident monitor, that is a resident program that resides in the memory, so which helps for automating this task. So what happened, this always residents in the memory. The memory, if we talk about the memory, means it is a primary memory, that is the RAM. Okay, and it automatically sequenced the job to another job. So like this, the user interaction has now reduced and the performance a bit improved. So after that, in batch processing itself, some other concepts are also applied to speed up the system and improve the performance, that is the buffering. So buffering was used. In the buffering, what had happened, the uh, it is a method of overlapping input output and the processing of a single job. So in that, what had happened, what we can do, in the buffering, after the data has been read and CPU is about to start to operate it, the input output devices, whatever is there, is instructed to read the next data. So in this way, the task was overlapped. And why? Because if CPU has to process something, it requires the input, and then you will give the, after processing, the output will come. So during the input, suppose one input has given to it, it is processing something. So what I will do, I will make my input output device ready to fetch the data immediately, so that as soon as this work is completed, I can pick the data and it can start the work. So overlapping was done here like this. And another approach was also used for that, the spooling, that we call it is a more sophisticated form of input output buffering. So here what happened, the simultaneous peripheral operation on line, it was done. So suppose peripheral devices means those devices, like this is my CPU, central processing unit. So what happens, we have the different ports. So around that port, all the devices are connected. So that's why we call these all devices the peripheral devices. And peripheral devices is considered as both input and output devices. So in the buffering, simultaneous peripherals operations on a line. So if you see the difference between the serial and multi-programming environment for the program execution, then we can understand it better what is the problem. So in the serial processing system, or serial way of processing the program, so what had happened here, the suppose y P1 is a one program and P1 is executing here. It has executed for some time. After that, it may be needed some input. So at that time, it is waiting for input from the data. And when the data has received, it has now started processing. And now suppose here it was T1, now here is T2. After that, what is happening? Again, it is required, if input output, then it will take and it will complete the task. So suppose this program 1 is there. So in the sequential or serial way of execution, what will happen? The first program P1, it is now holding the control of the processor and resources. first the program 1 will be completed, then the program 1 programs 2 or subsequently 3, like this it will start. So in that P2 has started, this time is now idle. Suppose it is waiting for the some input output or request. So here now P2 has started, again some idle time is there, and here P2. So what is happening, lot of the resources are unused and underutilized. So that's why performance was poor in our sequence in serial processing. So there is one another way of doing this simultaneously. So whatever this time that is called the idle time is there. So in during time the system may be waiting for the program may be waiting for the input output. So what we can do, we can make it in concurrent way. So suppose P1 has executed, now this idle time is there. So in this idle time I can allow the P2 to execute. So as soon as the P1 has get the input, and now it is going to process its the remaining task, so we can give the chance to P2. So in that time what we can do, this idle time here, the idle time will be utilized here, and this idle time will be utilized for the another program. So like this, program 1, program 2 can be executed simultaneously with more utilization of the resources. So this is not only one program, if multiple programs are there we can utilize that one also. So this is the difference between the serial and the multi-programming environment for the program execution. So now we see in the multi-programming environment how this environment is used for improving the performance of the system. So what happened here, the buffering and spooling we have used in the batch processing. Batch has also helped, because we have in the batch processing what we did, we have used the system to improve, mechanism to improve the system performance. In the batch, one thing more we can discuss here in batch processing, a very good example is we have the command prompt, the CMD in the MS-DOS we have. So what we can do here, the best example of serial execution you can get, suppose C drive is there here, and here what you are doing, you are giving the command like dir for listing the files and folders. Then if you want to clear the screen, CLS. So what are these? This task is happening sequentially, okay. So and if you want to print the date, you can print the date and time, like that. So what these tasks are serial, one by one it is taking the request and it is executing. So in MS-DOS itself we have another way of applying the concept of the batch processing. So in DOS we have one another approach that we call we can create the batch file also. So in the batch file what we can do, whatever the request you are giving to the command prompt terminals to complete sequentially, and in that lot of user interaction is there. You can automate these tasks by putting these commands into a single file saved with the .bat. So like my file, no, we can write my work. Suppose some work you have, some type of work you did, then you can write my work .bat. So .bat is creates the batch file, and in this file what you can write the content, whatever content you want. Suppose first task I want, list the file and directory, you write this one in the first line. Next one you can write here the, suppose you want to go into the D drive, so you can write D drive and you can hit the enter, not one by one you can list up it. Next you can write, suppose you want to know the version of the operating system, so you can write version. And if you want to know the system info, so you can write the system info command here, system info command, then you will get the entire information about the system. So what is happening, these commands we are wrapping into a single file. If you want the time, date, okay, you can also write here any number of command that you can't you want to do. So you can write here and save this file with the file name, any file name, but .bat. Okay, so after saving this file, this will be one automated task. If you click here, you execute, all the work will be executed automatically by the system immediately without the interaction in between. So this is one way to improve the performance that we have used in the batch processing. This is one example of batch processing. So in the next multi-programming environment, now we'll see the comparison here. So batch processing concept we have used, spooling we have used. So batch and spooling, buffering, they have improved a system to a great extent, but not that much we require. So we learn for that because it has the limitations, okay, of input, output, and processing of a single job. So now here our approach is something different. Here we will keep the multi programs into the system at the same time, so that we can increase the performance of our system. So here what will happen, more number of programs will be there, they will be competing for the system resources, and for that, out of that we will get the better resource utilization and efficient system. So what happened, like this is the multi-programming environment. If we portray this, we can write here is the monitor, resident monitor or system program, whatever is there. After that, what we can do, we can write those these programs can be kept into the memory. They can reside more than 2 programs in the, so suppose 3, these number of programs are there. So these programs will be there into the memory, and say for it is a random access memory, that is ROM. So in that, these programs are there, and what they are doing, because in the memory, program 1, program 2, program 3, these programs are residing in the memory, and we have seen this concept of multi-programming environment. So here the program number of programs are residing in the memory, and these, like idle time was there, they will be using in a efficient manner these programs. That's why we can run simultaneously multiple programs concurrently into the operating system, and this will improve the system performance to a great extent. So what is happening, if we see here, so program 1 and program 2, whatever is here, so they are getting some time, they are getting some CPU, the CPU time means in a sharing basis. So in a multi-programming system, what happens, they are getting the programs in a they are getting the chance to execute simultaneously. So like this we can improve the system performance. So if we have that lot of many operating systems are there, basically measures are there. We have the Unix, Linux, and we have the Windows, that is the commercial, licensed, both are open source, and then we have the Mac OS. Okay, so these are the different operating systems. This development that had happened in one day, slowly and steady, and we have came to the up to this stage. So here, if we say in the beginning 1985 the Windows had came. If we talk about the Unix, it came in around 1970s. Okay, so Unix came. Then in 1990s, this got the popularity of the Linux, that is developed by the Linus Torvald. And here, like Windows 3.1 came in 92, 95 came in 95, XP came in 2001, Vista 2006, and Windows 7 came in the 2009, and 8 came 2012, and we are using the Windows 10 and its version, so it came into 2015. So this is the brief information how the system has evolved. Operating system has evolved from the serial to batch processing, and batch processing to the multi-programming, and now the operating system is very much developed, very advanced, and it is doing the very efficient work and fulfill